The icy forest of Elysium. 9 was a place of silence and solitude, where the wind howled like a mournful spirit and the snow fell in endless sheets. It was a world forgotten by time, a frozen wasteland on the edge of the galaxy where few dared to tread. But for Dr. Elias Varn, a xenobiologist and explorer, it was the perfect place to uncover the secrets of the past. Elias trudged through the snow, his breath visible in the frigid air. His thermal suit kept him warm, but the weight of his equipment and the biting cold made every step a struggle. He had been sent by the Galactic Exploration Corps to investigate strange energy signatures detected in the region. The readings were unlike anything ever recorded, ancient, powerful, and seemingly dormant. As he approached the source of the signal, the forest grew denser, the trees towering like icy sentinels. The ground beneath his feet was uneven, and he had to be careful not to slip on the hidden patches of ice. Finally, he reached a clearing, and there, half buried in the snow, was the source of the energy signature. It was a capsule, sleek and metallic, with intricate designs etched into its surface. The craftsmanship was unlike anything Elias had ever seen, clearly not of human origin. The capsule was partially open, revealing a faint glow from within. Elias approached cautiously, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. He brushed away the snow and ice, revealing more of the capsule's surface. The design seemed to tell a story, one of a great civilization that had once thrived but had fallen into ruin. Elias couldn't decipher the symbols, but he could feel the weight of history in them. With a deep breath, he reached out and touched the capsule. The moment his hand made contact, the glow intensified, and the capsule began to hum with energy. Elias stepped back, his eyes wide with astonishment as the capsule slowly opened, revealing its contents. Inside was a figure, perfectly preserved as if frozen in time. It was a woman, her features delicate and otherworldly. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, and her long hair was a cascade of silver. She was dressed in a gown of shimmering fabric that seemed to shift and change colors with the light. But what struck Elias the most was the aura of power that surrounded her, even in her dormant state. As he watched, the woman's eyes fluttered open, and she took a deep, shuddering breath. Her eyes, a deep, piercing blue, locked onto Elias, and for a moment he felt as if she could see into his very soul. "Oh, who are you?" she asked, her voice soft but filled with authority. "I'm Dr. Elias Varn," he replied, his voice trembling slightly. "I'm a scientist. I found you here, in this capsule. You've been asleep for a long time." The woman sat up slowly, her movements graceful and deliberate. She looked around, taking in her surroundings with a mixture of curiosity and sadness. "How long?" she asked. 300 years, Elias said. "At least, that's what the energy readings suggest." The woman closed her eyes, as if processing the information. 300 years, she murmured. So much time has passed. Elias hesitated, then asked, "Who are you?" "I am Princess Seraphina of Elysium," she said, her voice steady now. "The last of my kind. My people, they're gone, aren't they?" Elias nodded, his heart heavy with the weight of her words. "I'm sorry," he said. "I don't know what happened to them, but there's no record of your civilization in the galactic archives." Seraphina's expression was one of profound sorrow, but she nodded, as if she had expected as much. "We knew our time was coming to an end," she said. "That is why I was placed in this capsule, to preserve our legacy, to ensure that our story would not be forgotten." Elias felt a surge of empathy for the princess. "I'll do everything I can to help you," he said. "But first, we need to get you out of here. It's not safe to stay in this cold for too long." Seraphina nodded, and with Elias's help, she climbed out of the capsule. Despite having been asleep for centuries, she moved with a strength and grace that belied her fragile appearance. Together, they made their way back to Elias's ship, the Starblade, which was parked a short distance away. Once inside the ship, Elias activated the heating systems and offered Seraphina a thermal blanket. She accepted it with a grateful smile, and for the first time, Elias noticed the faint glow that seemed to emanate from her skin. "Thank you, Dr. Varn," she said, "for rescuing me and for your kindness." "Please call me Elias," he said, "and it's my honor to help you. But what do you plan to do now? Your people are gone, and the galaxy has changed so much in the past 300 years. Seraphina looked out the viewport at the icy forest, her expression thoughtful. "I must find out what happened to my people," she said, "and I must ensure that their legacy is not forgotten. But I cannot do it alone. I will need your help, Elias." Elias nodded without hesitation. "Of course," he said. "I'll do whatever I can to assist you." Over the next few weeks, Elias and Seraphina worked together to uncover the truth about the fall of the Elysium civilization. They traveled to ancient ruins, deciphered long-forgotten texts, and pieced together the story of a once great empire that had been brought to its knees by a combination of internal strife and external threats. As they worked, Elias found himself drawn to Seraphina in ways he couldn't fully explain. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, wise, compassionate, and fiercely determined. And though she carried the weight of her people's loss, she never let it consume her. Instead, she focused on the future, on the hope that their legacy could still make a difference in the galaxy. One night, as they sat together in the Starblade's observation deck, watching the stars streak by in hyperspace, Seraphina turned to Elias and said, "Thank you, Elias, for everything. I could not have done this without you." Elias smiled, his heart swelling with emotion. "It's been an honor, Seraphina," he said, "and I want you to know that you're not alone. Not anymore." Seraphina's eyes softened, and she reached out to take his hand. "I know," she said, "and for that, I am grateful." As they continued their journey, Elias and Seraphina grew closer, their bond deepening with each passing day. Together, they uncovered the final piece of the puzzle, a hidden archive that contained the knowledge and wisdom of the Elysium civilization. It was a treasure trove of science, art, and philosophy, a legacy that could change the galaxy for the better. With the archive in their possession, Elias and Seraphina returned to the Galactic Exploration Corps, where they presented their findings to the Council. The Council was astounded by the discovery, and they immediately began plans to share the knowledge with the rest of the galaxy. But for Elias and Seraphina, the journey was far from over. They knew that there was still much work to be done, and that the legacy of the Elysium civilization was now in their hands. Together, they would ensure that the story of Seraphina's people would never be forgotten, and that their wisdom would guide the galaxy toward a brighter future. As they stood together on the observation deck of the Starblade, watching the stars stretch out before them, Elias turned to Seraphina and said, "We've come a long way, haven't we?" Seraphina smiled, her eyes shining with hope. "Yes," she said, "and we have a long way yet to go. But as long as we are together, I know we can face whatever challenges lie ahead." Elias nodded, his heart filled with determination. "Together," he said, "always." And with that, they set off into the stars, ready to write the next chapter of their story, a story of hope, of love, and of a legacy that would endure for generations to come.